Here we are. Here we are for the very first show.
Show number one.
Show number one.
Woo! Woo!
Tentatively Throne Talk. We'll probably come up with something better by the end. We've got our tecates, our pretzels.
That's right.
Our guac and chips.
Yeah, we should do our little sponsor.
It's,
Today's chips are presented.
It's Monday evening, which means we've had about almost 24 hours to kind of digest and absorb everything that happened on Thrones last night. Last night's episode was The Door. And I gotta say, why do we put ourselves through this?
Yeah.
Why do we watch a show that hurts so badly? Sinan, why?
I don't know. There's probably a psychological study to be done. Akin to understanding, masochism and the like.
Are all us fans just really, really twisted because
we need? Maybe it grounds us. It our lives have become so boring that we need. I mean, I have no idea. There's something to be said for it being a condition of some
14 times, but I think I'm done with the show. I know this is our first show reviewing it, but I mean it this time. The Red Wedding, I was done. Sansa, Ramsay, done.
So, we welcome ourselves to the world of Game of Thrones podcasting, and we also say goodbye. On that note.
Hello, goodbye. It's the one-off show.
Yeah. I mean, it is, we do put ourselves through.
Yeah. Hodor revealed.
Something.
The name revealed.
Yeah, big. I mean, this is quite the episode to be starting with.
And it's funny because this morning as I was thinking we're going to do the show, I'm thinking to myself as I'm starting the day, I'm like, I can't do it. I'm going to tell Sienna I can't do it. I can't stand this show anymore. I don't know why we keep doing this.
Yeah, I mean, we were texting last night.
Right.
And,
I watched it first and you were watching the
delayed version.
Yeah. And you're about halfway through, about like 10:30 or so, you're watching, it's a pretty good episode! Exclamation point. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
You sounded in a good mood. I'm like, oh no, he hasn't gotten to the end.
We haven't got there yet.
And I was just in pain inside. I'm like, knowing that you're about to experience about 25 minutes of awfulness.
And then like at one point, after I'd seen it, and we were both in some sort of shock, you even said, like, I'm out. I can't talk about this anymore.
No, the Hodor's, his whole, the prophecy of Hodor. We knew, but everything connected in the weird time jump and the warging and the knowing what it meant this whole time is just so painful.
Yeah,
because he's such a lovable, wonderful character.
Yeah.
And the same one who saves Bran, he's responsible for his demise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me interrupt for a minute and. So basically, as far as our podcast goes, we're going to format this thing in a way where we're going to start off every one of these things with the kind of main point of the week.
Main point.
The big theme. And certainly, as Ryan is suggesting, Hodor is the one. The Door, right? The episode is called The Door.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know what The Door was before we saw it, we definitely know what The Door is now. And of course, there are probably layers to this door, right? Various doors opening and closing. You've got people leaving Castle Black in a pretty big. But the door is.
This means it.
Hold the door, my friend. Hold the door.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a big one because I was a book reader. Sienna's not yet read the books.
That's right.
But but it was in the show and in the books. They both say like the old Nan, who was like the great grandmother living at Winterfell, was the one that revealed to the kids that, his name's really,
Willis.
But I think it's a different name.
Oh, in the book
it's a different name in the book. It's slightly different. I think it's with a W as well, but whatever. And they never really explained why, but that was just funny to them that he was named Hodor. They just assumed it's because of this name, but it was very clear that this was planned all along in the writing.
And another little interruption here. As these podcasts go on, I'm going to be the non-book reader. I've kind of intentionally, since I started with the shows, I've only seen it through the shows, and so I'll be sort of analyzing it through that lens. And Ryan is
I'm the book reader, guacamole eater of the bunch. Yes.
I'm struggling to think of something that rhymes with that on the spot. That's a tough
parking meter, guac eater. Okay.
Yeah, something.
Pretty good.
Dog feeder.
Dog feeder.
And you are a dog feeder for that. Anyway,
trick or treater.
So I'm interrupting this too much at this point. Yes. So Hodor. I mean, my first thoughts. I remember Osha being taken out last episode. Was the episode before last?
I think it was last one. Yeah.
Either the last one or the one before that. And thinking about how much more impactful it would have been if we hadn't been separated from these characters for however long that was, a good 2 seasons. And I think, I know in the books that also is the case, right? You kind of lose focus. And I think it makes, in a way, more sense literarily, in the world of literature. Whereas in the show, I feel like they could have given us some 2-minute clips in the other season just to refresh our memory, keep them. So, like, as devastated as I was to see Osha leave, a part of me was kind of like, well, I haven't seen her in a while, and if that's one of the good guys we're going to lose this season, I'll take it. At least it's not Brienne or Bronn. And if this had happened in season 2 or 3 or 4 even, I would have been devastated. Like, Osha was such a great character. So I thought that was one weakness. And then I think about in the context of Hodor, it still impacted me so much. Oh my God, so much. And there's something so lovable about Hodor, that even if we didn't see him, like, Hodor, like, it's a running joke throughout the season.
Thinking of Bran and Rickon together, these 2 boys, and their parents are killed, they're just left, and then, like, their house gets sieged, and, like, they just have these 2 people to get them out of there. Well, the kids too, they have the Reed kids, but, like, just this wildling and Hodor to get them the hell out of there, and they're just so dependent on them. Not only the kids, but, like, Bran can use his legs. I mean, we're talking, like, some serious dependence on them, and how critical they were that they've been able to live this long, and they're still alive now as of this taping, but it's hard to tell you anymore. Yeah,
right. Certainly, especially in the case of Rickon. Although, really, I guess you can't. Even Bran's in a sort of hopeless scenario right now too.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Although we have to assume that he's going to serve some kind of function now. I mean, he is essentially the three-eyed raven now.
Well, that's a really interesting thing too, isn't it? Because he's like, "Am I ready? No."
And he proves that by killing off pretty much half of his gang.
Yeah, and like he just like whatever training or montage sequence was supposed to happen just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so.
And then on top of it, and this is a grim thought, I mean, and Bran was always a bit petulant in a kind of childish way. I mean, remember he wasn't supposed to keep climbing those buildings. Yeah. He did it, and of course we know where that led to him doing. And same thing here, right? He wasn't supposed to stay in this dream world, in the past, whatever. And he kind of had to go back. He gets nabbed by the
Night King.
The Night King.
That was his name?
And pretty much imperils everyone. He gets the three-eyed raven killed. He gets all those children of the forest killed.
So, Summer.
Yeah,
I can't even say it.
And it's funny because I think I might have had a stronger reaction to Summers getting killed than Hodor initially. And just because Summers being killed was so, like, in your face, boom, it's in the moment, and we're supposed to be focusing on running away, but for a moment I'm just like, whoa, wait, no, a wolf. And then when it happened with Hodor, it's just this shock and this moment of, like, wait a minute, like, this meta, whoa, like, Bran was in the past, and he could hear something in the present, and, he, like, broke Willis's mind in the past, and basically subjected him to a life of Hodor in this, kind of situation, which, again, he created, and you don't want to put too much blame on him. He's lost Hodor more than we have, for functional reasons.
That's a good point. He's lost Hodor more than we have. I should have told myself that today while I was, like, moping around.
Right, I mean, functionally he has, and I think, spiritually, I mean, what a sad, he must be fucking devastated, right? He just lost the most loyal character in Game of Thrones. Yeah. And the least deserving of death, like, we've lost so many great people, Oberyn and the Starks, and no one deserved it less.
Yeah, more innocent.
I mean, jeez.
But as someone told me today, he died a hero. He was very much a hero. Which I have to remind myself, sure. But
yeah, no, and it's funny. There are some great memes going on out there in the world, but which say, a hero doesn't just fight. Sometimes a hero just holds the door, and yeah.
Oh, I can't even handle that right now. I need more time. It's too soon.
Yeah, I think the next time I'm at a store and someone asks me to hold the door, I'll just break down.
I know. I was afraid of being on the elevator today. Someone saying, "Hold the door." I'm like, oh my God,
I can't do it.
I was gonna lose it.
Please don't make me do it. Yeah. So, Hodor. I mean,
I think it is what it is. We'll have to see how this plays out. But Hodor was amazing, and he will be missed.
Certainly. And the cast of people up north beyond the wall dwindles. yet again.
Yeah.
We've lost quite a few, men on the Night's Watch, including Mr. Mormont himself. We've lost Benjen Stark up there. We've lost so many characters up there, and so pretty much what we can assume from that is that there are a bunch of zombies. We've got the whites, we've got the White Walkers, and pretty much everything else is gone. Except for what we know, and they're on the run. So the next question, I guess, is where's Bran going? He's got to be going towards the wall, right?
Well, but they are so far north of the wall, though. They are so up north in the Haunted Forest. The distance, I don't know if it's hard to really emphasize how deep north they are.
Interesting.
They're way up there.
Well, so in a sense, by tipping them off and having them go up to there, they might have actually diverted the zombies from their imminent attack on the wall.
Yeah, it seems like they can move around pretty easily.
Yeah, I guess
the
you'd
snow
assume
doesn't
so.
slow them down.
Yeah, they've been on the run. I mean, yeah, you wonder, like, that's got to be coming.
Yeah.
I had a premonition, and this could lead into the rest of our conversation, but watching Dolorous Ed get left behind at the wall as, they all left to go off and kind of recruit people in various other areas. I had a kind of foreboding feeling about that we might not see Dolorous Ed for much longer, and whether it's internally from people in the wall, or if we can expect some undead folk to show up sooner rather than later. I have a bad feeling about what's left on the wall right now.
Well, it's hard to have a positive feeling about anything these days.
Yeah. And anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Can I ask, on the topic, but shifting gears a little bit, but still talking about the wall. Sansa Stark is really disappointed me. Really disappointed me.
So here, we're going to jump into this next section. So that our first section is completed. Hodor has been discussed. We, if we have any other thoughts, I'll, splice them in there if I can, if I need to. Bless you. But yeah, so now we'll each kind of focus on a couple points that we wanted to focus on from the episode, and so Ryan is keeping
a hit list.
Our hit. Oh, that's good. The Thrones hit list. Thrones Talk hit list.
What's number one on my hit list?
So you're gonna keep it on the wall, keeping it real.
Yep, keeping it real.
And Sansa.
All right, number one on my hit list for this week. What's up with Sansa meeting with Littlefinger and then not telling Jon Snow or entrusting any of them, but particularly Jon Snow, that she actually met with Littlefinger, and this news, supposed news, that River Run is strong and the Tullys have regained forces, because it's Littlefinger, so you can't really trust that either. But just the fact that, why wouldn't she just trust her brother, half-brother, Jon Snow, with this information? She'd rather side with Littlefinger and let him come around. She sided with Littlefinger by not telling that.
In a way, yeah, and I think...
Very much so. It's like, like staying on the side but not telling you're supposed to be allied with your family again, but by that action is a very big action of not letting them in. Not know about a whole army. Because basically the news was, we have an army.
Yeah. That
is right there. That is huge.
Yeah,
But for some reason didn't want to share that. Well, originally it's because Littlefinger didn't want anything to do with Littlefinger. She wanted to have that favor owed to him. But at this point, this is really huge when the stakes are on the line like this, and because it's her cousin's it's her cousin's army,
Yeah, certainly. I mean, she's a Tully, right? I mean, her mother's a Tully.
Yeah, her mother's a Tully. That's her mother's.
That's her uncle. That's her
mother's sister. Yeah.
The blackfish, right? That's her uncle. Yeah.
That's on the other side. Yeah. So like.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's the uncle on the other side, but the Eyrie, the Vale, with the kid who,
Okay, I see. Right, yeah.
Is drinking breast milk till he's like 12. That one.
yeah.
That one.
Rob.
Yeah.
The new Rob.
Yeah. He was willing to go help his sister just by commanding the army. And those Knights of the Vale are supposedly badass.
Can we, from here on, forthwith, whatever it's called, can we refer to him as Bob? Because we've got Rob, we've got Robert.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a Bob, and he seems like,
Yeah, let's call him Bob.
Let's call him Bob, Little Bob.
Or Little Bobby, because...
Little Bobby.
Bibby. Don't they say that, like, suck on the Bibby? She's always sucking on the Bibby.
All right, so Little Bobby. We got Little Bobby up there, down there, I guess, for thinking from the North perspective. Yeah, and certainly he has ties to Sansa. He's loyal. He actually shows that in the last episode. Well,
she's my cousin, I shut up. He's like, my thoughts exactly. So he had knights, ready to, storm.
And the Knights of the Vale they've got a rep. They've got a rep, right?
And Littlefinger's not going to go out of his way to do that now. It's just,
I mean, I still see. Yeah, I worried that by pushing him away in that way, that she was being a little bit, nearsighted, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I think I genuinely believed that Ramsay was his first miscalculation. I don't think he. The rep.
I disagree.
Really?
He has such a callous history of having a lot of people killed.
Sure. That's true.
He doesn't have respect for life like everyone. It's not just like little players. He gets people killed.
But I always see
outright killed. He's killed people.
But I always see
he shoved that one through the made her fly.
No doubt.
He doesn't care. He doesn't have respect for actual life. Everything's
That's
a power
true.
play. Everything's a power play.
We have to remember.
This is not a reputation you can think.
But we have to remember
that doing the best thing.
A large part of his motivation was his love for Catelyn Stark. Catelyn Stark Tully, right? Now, Sansa being, of course, her eldest daughter, but also having the red hair of the Tullys. But I've always seen a sense, in that weird, kind of pedophile kiss, that we saw.
It's super creepy.
Yeah, very creepy. So I've always sensed a kind of creepy, almost attachment to Catelyn, that in terms of how he sees her. So I do think, I saw a miscalculation on his part, and maybe you're right. I mean, it's up for debate.
Stark so many times. He's betrayed Catelyn.
It's true.
He's betrayed Catelyn so many times.
Right.
That whole thing of releasing way back in the day when they captured Jaime Lannister, and he just came. Oh yeah, well if you just give me Jaime Lannister, I'll make sure I have both the girls. I have Sansa and Arya. Give me.
Yeah.
He didn't have Arya. Arya fled.
Sansa
was just kind of he was just I promise you. So he was manipulating even Catelyn, who he sworn to love. He was denying. He was lying about giving her hostage daughter back.
And he may have overestimated.
That's crazy.
In retrospect, he may have overestimated his capacity to find Arya. Maybe he really. Again, I mean, this is all kind of we're writing our own stories now, but yeah. Regardless, I see it as a miscalculation, and I think even strategically, because remember, he's been promised the position as the Warden of the North. So if he wants to get rid of Sansa, he'd technically want to do it after they've gathered troops, put up or at least helped him put up an even better fight against Winterfell. So best case scenario, he actually has some kind of creepy thing going for Sansa and has her best interest in mind. And at some point in the proceedings, Jon and Sansa learn of his betrayal of Ned, which really led to his death. And they kind of get control of him, and that's the end of Littlefinger. Worst case scenario, he's plotted all this out, but I think his Knights of the Vale are there because strategically it's probably useful for him to have the rest of those people fighting alongside. Or he waits for them to fight it out and then sweeps in.
3 steps ahead, at least more than 3 steps ahead. He's even more than that. So the move to help Sansa, the idea, what is that ultimate to this, to that? He's like a chess player, and he loves the game.
Sure.
All right. Well,
I've heard. I'd like to throw something out there. In the YouTube universe, I've heard theories that the pink note, the pink letter that was written to Jon Snow from Ramsay.
Why is that called the pink letter?
I don't know. They're always adding a color to a noun. The red wedding.
They're always adding colors to nouns.
What did they call Joffrey's wedding? It was the black wedding or something.
The purple balloon.
The
red car. The blue. Mailbox. We're always adding colors to nouns.
But so there's a theory out there that Ramsay didn't write the letter. That it was somehow, and I'm not at all advocating for this theory, but that somehow it was Littlefinger who is trying to get a troop going, a large enough force to attack Winterfell, and so that whatever the outcome is, whoever wins or loses that, whether it's Ramsay and Winterfell or Jon Snow and his forces, he lets them fight it out, and then he comes sweeping in with the Knights of the Vale and cleans up, and he's been promised the North, and maybe at that point it's like, fuck Sansa, I promised Cersei her head. Now, of course, at that point, we don't know if Cersei's even there, because now... Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. So, that's on my... Now, Sinan, this is time for your hit list. Who's on your hit list? Number 1.
All right.
What is the topic from last week's show?
I feel like I'm being a bit of a cornball. You know, this is my first hit on the hit list.
Hit number 1.
You know, ever in our first episode. But I just find the relationship between Thormund Giantsbane and Brienne amazingly hilarious.
Oh, it's great. I love it. This the way he's going. It's fantastic.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. He loves this this physique. He loves it.
Right. And in the first episode of this that we saw.
Yeah.
There's that look where like Dolorous Ed it kind of sees them, or like sees Thormund kind of eyeing her up, and he kind of gives that look like what is going on here? And this last one is confirmed, right? Like with the two of them on the horses, he gives that look over, that real cheeseball grin. She you know she's kind of like, oh come on dude, like we got bigger things to think about. She's a warrior at heart, but at the same time, I mean, she's gotta like that attention a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is Thormund. No, in the books, he brags about fucking a bear.
And there's a certain...
his character. He brags about allegedly fucking a bear.
Even without my book knowledge, I remember the talk about that, actually, in the first couple seasons, whatever it was. And then I remember the irony of that, her being... You know, having fought a bear in a cage at a certain, you know, like they both have this bear connection.
Ooh, interesting. I wonder if he'll use that as a line.
So the bear could come into play yet again for both of these guys.
I heard you, she could be like, he could say to her a line like, I heard you like to wrestle bears.
You know what I like to do with bears?
Have sex with them. That's never the answer you were imagining.
And I don't imagine Brienne being too impressed by it. But anyway.
Wow.
It's a cute little story. I liked where that was going. I think that's and always like the same. I think in the first time we saw it, it was like right after Osha had been killed, and you're not really like in the mood to laugh about something, but that scene was so funny that you can't help but kind of like and it really does like lighten things for you. Yeah. And then this last episode, like where everything is so dark and kind of hostile, you know, to see that was fun. I thought that was fun. Anyway, that's it. There's not much to say about that. No, except, good. I guess, you know, to follow that all up into something else that one could discuss on their own. Where are these guys all going? You know, there's a big group of people on horseback, and they're clearly not all going the same direction because there's been talk of them separating.
Right.
Are they all separating out to go talk to all the different houses that they think they could recruit, or?
You know, I guess that's the only thing I can interpret from that. Yeah, they're just going to go try to recruit now and go talk and be like, this the shit that's going on. We got to do something. Well, you know.
So for Thormund and
put
Brienne,
put on the pot of coffee. We're getting up. We got some shit to do.
So for Thormund and Brienne, though, you know, they always say the best, you know, cauldron to test a relationship is on the road, traveling. So we'll see how they do, you know.
We'll see how they travel together.
Anyway,
you know, it's true. There's some truth in that. Yeah.
All right, hit list complete.
Maybe that's what Jon Snow's ultimate motive is. None of that.
He's trying to hook him up.
I'm looking for my boy. I just want to make sure it works.
He's the ultimate wingman.
Let's just go through the test now.
He came back from the dead to be the ultimate wingman.
Wouldn't that be great? That's all he cares about. He's like, I don't give a watch. I just try to. Like,
I have new priorities now.
Right, yeah, man, Thormund here. He fucked a bear. Isn't that awesome?
Hey, let me tell you about my boy Thormund.
I mean, look at that beard.
All right, complete. That's it.
All right.
Ryan, so number 2
on my hit list.
Yeah.
You want what's number 2 on my hit list?
Yeah.
Number 2 on my hit list. Okay. Greyjoy. Euron Greyjoy is named king. Ooh. During his campaign, he vows to seduce Daenerys.
Yeah.
Like, just speaks of her. They never heard of her. Just described her, who is Daenerys. And it basically goes, yeah, I'm going to court her and she'll be mine. She'll be my woman. Attitude. No, the guy's like, yeah. Whoa. What? That's the most ridiculous campaign I've ever thought I've heard in my life. That is imagine that as a plan. That's like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. And they actually believed it. They have no idea who he's talking about. That could never work. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 reasons where to start.
No, and I mean, we should talk about the whole Kingsboot and all of that. I think it's a good segue. But yeah, I mean, I saw a great comparison on the internet between Euron and Trump. You know, he's like, I'll build 1,000 ships and we're gonna charge all.
That was definitely but the weird thing was it was definitely like a Trump.
Oh yeah,
Hillary type thing.
and the bombast, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, with the first lady,
and she's just like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing things.
Yeah, and like I've already shown I can do it pretty good.
I had like these outrageous like claims, but oddly it was written so long ago. At this point, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, he couldn't have predicted it, but maybe.
But now it's like it's pretty much that. Yeah.
Nostra Martinus. Sorry, I should probably cut that out.
Pending.
In editing, I think I'm
That's the name of our first book, which is a couple of our best shows.
That's right, Nostra Martinus. Anyway,
another great lines.
That's right. You can totally come back and expect more of that kind of action.
Yeah, just keep it on your Amazon wish list. Pre-order it.
But so yeah,
you might want to pre-order it.
The King's Moot, man. Great scene, first of all.
Great stuff.
I didn't read the book, but I heard a lot of sort of chirping about how people wanted the Greyjoys to have these characters.
I was very happy to see it because it would have happened chronologically with the last season, but also like other things that got put off to this. I'm very glad to see it because it was in the book. It's one of my favorite storylines.
There's a guy named now. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a guy named Victarion in the books.
We haven't seen him yet. I don't know if they haven't introduced the Victarion yet.
So maybe I feel like what they tend to do with the show is they kind of conflate these things into one story.
They do. Yeah.
Like with the Sansa and the whoever she was supposed to be in the book, right? It's like a fake Arya or something.
Right.
So
Victarion's a very cool character, and he's more kind of more of a good guy.
Okay.
Like more on that end. Of brother.
Okay.
Definitely and while Euron, the one who just got one, who's like a crazy bastard who's just dangerous.
So they represent the two sides of crazy, I guess, right? And
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And they go on their quests and stuff, but but the Euron guy was like, I'm gonna.
Well, all right. Now, so this is a good chance, Again, I've read internet chatter, and I've tried not to pay too much attention to it, because again, I really do want to see this through the lens of the show, since that's kind of where I started, and whatever, I'm seeing it through. But this is a good chance for you to educate me and anyone out there.
So the King's Moot.
Well, before that, first, I wanted to ask. There's talk of a horn.
Yeah.
A Greyjoy horn.
Yes, this is true. I mean, should we be warning our listeners?
Is it okay? Spoiler.
Well, because it's in the book. I don't know if it's gonna be in the show because they deviated so much.
Yeah, I mean, all right, maybe hold on. Maybe we'll leave it out.
I think we'll hold off. Don't worry, we're not gonna discuss it.
Yeah.
Because we want you to listen to the rest of the show.
That's right.
And
fair
if you
enough.
do that, then we might.
And if you're seeing it through my lens, in fact, you know what? Yeah, maybe I don't even want to know too much about that.
It could be something that's not used at all.
Yeah. And I saw, and for me, it's as innocent as I saw a comment where someone was like, "What about the horn of something?" I don't even remember what it was. And I was like, "The horn of something," and it was talking, talking Victarion. So yeah, let's leave that. Let's leave that all aside.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come back. But let's stick to what we know. We know the King's Moot.
We know. Let's keep it to the show stuff. And if there's not any background for the books, information will be supplied.
Sure. Yeah. And maybe we can do a separate podcast that where you can talk about the books. Or I don't know, whatever. Anyway. Yeah.
We got a lot of ideas. We're brainstorming. There's no wrong answers in brainstorming.
That's right.
That's the mode. When you're brainstorming, there's no wrong answer. You gotta shoot.
And if anyone has any ideas for stuff that we should talk about, please let us know.
So I gotta go back for a second with the Daenerys and trying to seduce. You're just some Viking piratey guy. You're like, I'm gonna seduce Daenerys.
Yeah.
Who is so opposite from you? You're not the kind of dude she bangs.
Yeah. Look at Jorah Mormont, dude.
Yeah.
He can't even get banged. He's in the friend zone.
She likes deserty guys on horses with their shirts off, with their dry. She's used to desert getting it on.
Yeah.
This is very wet.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not her thing.
I don't imagine.
And the guys she likes are more clean, more oiled up. These aren't those guys.
No.
Smell like the sea. She doesn't dig that.
And first of all,
she's got dragons.
This actually could be a good segue, because my next point is going to be talking about the new Red Lady, who's apparently going to be the kind of religious consultant on Daenerys' staff, which kind of ties into what we're talking about, because she might have to be representing this totally other religion. She's which means the drowned god is not going to be part of her worldview. But anyway, I don't even want to go into that yet, because I really do think we have to talk about the King's Moot more.
Okay, so they kind of show this, but if I'm not mistaken, they talk about the King's Moot, and that's the main character is the one, that's another brother, the priest who did the ritual, the white beard and hair. But basically drowning them, and the idea is what is dead may never die. Meaning part of the ritual to become them is once you swallow, you actually do die.
Yeah.
You can go
you drown
them,
essentially.
And then it's just on that cusp where you could come back.
Okay.
If you cough it up, you could.
So one would imagine some maybe
some
have
do not make
right?
it. Some do not make it. Absolutely. So you have to make it. If you're going to be a king, you got to show that you can do that, and just drown, and then but then basically since you've already died, you can never die. So that whole thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
And this guy seems hardy enough where he's probably almost drowned a few times in his pirating days. You know, it's probably like there might even be that aspect to it. You know, through the experience.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fascinating. And I guess what I also found quite interesting was that we had him immediately chasing after his niece and nephew, after Theon and Yara.
Yeah, and they knew it.
And they knew it, right? Like they bolted, and did they?
They took the
all the ships.
They took the best ships.
So they have a lot of people who are loyal to them. Then clearly,
a fair amount, yeah, but not the entirety.
So do they just like release the ships, kind of thing, or are they actually like commandeering them? I mean, like they
commandeered them. Like
so they've got a huge fleet. On the shore, they've got a good start to a pretty big fleet,
right?
Even
without a good start, it's gonna be hard for them to catch up. I don't think they're even trying. They're like,
they're piecing out
because they know how good their ships are.
Right.
They're like, oh shit, they're fucking gone. So he was just like, let's build, and he's like, we need to build the biggest like Navy fleet.
There's like a kind of biblical.
Yeah, and he's like, he means business. So it's like, how fast can you get those up? I don't know, but that's what they do. That's what on the Iron Islands they do. They just make ships and sail like so.
So there's some realism. They'll do it. Like, I mean, maybe not. But so I mean, that might be where we end this with the final question: where the fuck? Pardon my language. Where are Theon and Yara going?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
Are they gonna try to take over some place and start some shit on their own?
Ooh, I never even thought about this.
You know, are they gonna seek refuge somewhere? Are they gonna become loyal to someone?
Yeah.
Are they gonna go to Essos, which is kind of like the question mark land? You know, like maybe, you know, what do they do? Where do they go? I mean, technically, if they beat Euron to Daenerys, we know how much Daenerys needs boats, right? After they burnt down her fleet not long ago. Perhaps they're like, yo, we got some boats. But, like, they don't know. I mean, where do they go?
They don't know anything about that. Yeah.
Are they just running for their lives, like, you know, without a sense of that? Or, you know, they must have some idea, I guess.
Well, they're born to just, like, pillage some more, so they'd probably go to another place and just pillage.
Interesting. And you wonder, maybe they...
We reap, we do not sow. That's their line. Well.
Yeah, but these are extreme conditions, right? They're like kind of exiled and on the run.
Yeah.
Granted, it's an interesting scenario because they have a lot of people loyal to them. They've got a fleet, you know, they've got some resources at their disposal. Yeah. But so it's not like when Theon's been on the run pretty much every other season. Oh. Yeah, there's still a lot of question marks around that, aren't there? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
that's good because I was so distracted with other things and didn't have time to process that.
Yeah. And so next on my final hit list.
Hit it to me.
Daenerys, Essos. We're back in Marine. You know, first of all, where do you focus on that story? Right? I mean, we actually didn't get any of Daenerys herself in this episode, really. I mean, no, I guess we got a little bit of Jorah romance.
Yeah, she wanted him to find the cure.
Oh, that's a big, you know, I guess maybe that could be my focus. Can he find a cure? What do we know? Now,
here's what we know. The only thing we know is that Princess Serene, Stannis' daughter, once had it, and they paid all the money they had to find a cure, and they stopped. Somehow they managed to survive, but that was really rare. That's the only case we know of someone surviving
and there's a sense
so freaked out by it because if you see it, that's where they keep her in a dungeon because it's like you can't be touched or you get it. Mm-hmm. So it's such a shame to stand. Yeah, that's why she was in the dungeon. And she got that. Oh, what's it called? There's a name for it.
Stone skin.
Stone scale.
Okay.
Didn't it look kind of like a cool sleeve tattoo this week?
It kind of did. I mean, it'd be a cool tattoo in our world, you know. Yeah. Granted, you know, we wouldn't be exiled, but.
Don't touch him. Hey,
put him in the dungeon.
Nice to meet you. Don't touch him.
Put him in the dungeon.
That would come to be great.
That would
see
be
like
funny.
How many geeks you can
freak
out by just going. Do high five someone and then just awkwardly pull up
by the way,
and look at it with like a very grim.
Oh shit!
Worrying
Sorry,
look.
I forgot.
I forgot to mention I have stone scale. You might want to
shower.
You might want to get some Dove soap on those hands. You have a moist towelette. You might want to wipe that off.
Well, so yeah, I mean, this is the big thing. This is the big.
Wipe your hands in the stone scale.
You know, from all that we know, the odds aren't good. He's not going to find a cure, right? And from what I understand, there was even a perception that only because Shireen was so young, right? There was something about her youth that allowed them to, right? Like, it doesn't look good.
That's
but at the same time, you would think that someone like a Red Lady would be the type of person who might know.
But my thing has always been about Mormont. He came from a cold-ass place, Bear Island. They were loyal to the Starks, but they're off in the sea, north of Winterfell, in the sea, where it's just, like, cold as fuck.
Yeah, sure.
And then, like, he'd been living in the desert for hanging out with the Dothrakis. And,
quite a while. I mean, he knows the language.
Yeah, because he had to leave because of the, whole...
Exile, yeah. Selling slave.
Yeah, selling slave shit.
Dick.
Yeah. But, so now he's out in the desert doing this.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a crazy... it's a crazy situation. And, I mean, my sense... I had a funny theory. Stone scale, whatever it is, right? There's something about dragon scales that are right. So the connection between dragons, the Targaryens, the fire, the Lord of the Light, religion, right? The people coming back to life because of that religion. That religion is having some kind of connection to all of these sort of fairly important aspects of those things. The dragons. What if
the Melisandre or the Red Woman can cure
exactly?
Oh my God, dude!
High five.
Nice.
High five.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? I mean, that would be fun. That would be
well
fun.
done, sir. Well done.
So yeah, maybe there's a connection to fire. Daenerys herself has these magical properties where she can survive fire, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is not necessarily true in the books. That was kind of from what I understood.
What's that? The fire thing?
Yeah, Daenerys. That was supposed to be like a one-off thing, right? Like
no, like it's because remember, like very on when Viserys was given like the golden helmet.
Yeah, and she's like a real. I remember that. Yeah.
She goes, he's not a dragon. Dragons don't burn.
That's right. Yeah.
And then like in the very first thing we see her like talk about being in those hot tubs, they're like, don't go in there, it's too hot. Or like and all these different scenes, just like she don't give a fuck about the heat.
All right, so
she could go to Hawaii in July.
Yeah.
Or someplace hot like.
And if anyone can correct us on this, go for it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty definitive. Okay. Well, so that's interesting.
That's the hottest thing I can think of. I really couldn't beyond that.
That's pretty hot off the block right there.
It's pretty uncomfortable.
All right. So
I'll have some Hawaiian punch to cool down.
So all right, and that's a fun thing to consider. We've got that Mormont situation covered. We've pretty much covered that. The one scene where we see Daenerys in this last episode, it was a Bran episode, but there was the other scene in Meereen with an uncomfortable Tyrion and Varys handling this pretty zealous Lady of Red, and then we have another necklace, so all I can see is that necklace, by the way, I've heard people talking about, oh, she's really beautiful. All I see is that necklace,
Yeah, so maybe she's not. Yeah. Oh, the first one, Melisandre.
No, this new lady.
Oh, the new lady could be like 600 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just see the necklace. That's it.
That's makeup in the Westeros. Be like, I just wear this necklace.
yeah.
That's great. Imagine they sold that at you went to Lord and Ted, like, we got this necklace that makes you look 20 years younger. Here's the catch, though.
The Westerosi version of Dwayne Reed.
Your talk has to be about religion, but we can make you look like this.
At the Westerosi Dwayne Reed, you can pick up
all right, I wear this necklace and do that. Yeah, I mean, she looks good.
I mean, I'm not, I'm no expert in the world of beauty products and what have you, but yeah, I see. Yeah. Anyway, so this is it's pretty fascinating that we have another Lady of the Red who has her own very distinct belief as far as who the Azor.
Talks in that cryptic way.
Yeah, with the kind of accent. The accent seems to be part of the.
Yeah.
They must come from a certain region.
Women in the red,
right?
Whole deal. If you're going into that look.
Yeah. But so.
It feels like a goth girl in the North and Westeros would try to go for the. But be like, you're not an actual with the red. Sorry.
What's so interesting about this for me though is that they're so sure-footed. It's like, oh, this is the person we've been promised. The what is it? Azor Ahai.
Very confident.
And like we had Stannis, and clearly we learned very succinctly that they do not necessarily know what they're talking about at all, right? They burnt up Shireen so unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit crazy. They're on the crazy side. They think they know everything and they don't, clearly. Yeah. And so now we've got two ladies competing, essentially. One believes that Jon Snow is the Azor Ahai. The other one
Daenerys.
believes that it's Daenerys. Now, the tale of ice and fire, right? We've got Jon Snow of the ice, of the north. Yeah. And then we've got Daenerys with the fires and the dragons. Yeah. There you have it. That's the big story. The tale of ice and fire.
Ladies in red.
Now,
I wonder if they'll play that Chris Isaak song During the final battle.
Pretty fascinating stuff there.
Yeah.
Now, I personally have never seen Varys squirm so
He's
much.
never squirmed like that.
I've never seen that before.
That's added the whole thing to... If he wasn't squirming like that, the scene would be dead. But just his over, like, I'm freaking out thing. Unless he's going for an award of just, like, trying to let her think he's buying the bullshit. But no, it was a little too intense.
Yeah.
He was like, whoa.
Well, yeah, she's like, I know who basically cut off your balls, right?
Yeah.
And
But,
let's
like,
talk about that a little.
The
It's
sound
like, what?
out of the fire.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would,
So she
like,
knows.
whatever thing happened during this ritual, I know about. I'm like, that's...
That's creepy. And he got under her skin. So I often think about how, you know, in the courts in King's Landing,
Yeah.
there are all these weird little politics going on between characters, right? Like, you know, the kind of religious character never getting along with, like, the money guy, or, you know, like, the you have these kind of competing interests. And now that's interestingly starting to develop in the court of Daenerys, right? If in fact they're trying to get her to represent this group, and then she's going to use her influence around to you know, whatever. You know, that's sort of unfortunate in a way, in that, you know, you kind of saw Daenerys' little court as being kind of fun and something different. You know?
Daenerys' court is really wild. It's like United Colors of Benetton in there.
Yeah.
You have, like, especially when it was the original. Imagine when it was the original and everyone combined. That was Benetton right there. Because you had, remember, who was the old knight?
Oh yeah.
The great one who died. You got him, but you also got, like,
Barrister.
Barristan Selmy?
Barristan Selmy, there we go.
Him. You had Mormont. Who is the main...
Grey Worm?
Grey Worm.
Yeah.
You got Missandei. Missandei, she's great.
She's great. I mean, they have a great little court.
Tyrion too.
Yeah.
That's your ensemble.
And so, you know, we lost Barristan Selmy. That was pretty bad one. But yeah, I mean, it's a great little unit. You know, I liked watching this little kind of, like, how Tyrion, being a pretty, you know, good dude, he always felt like he had to kind of explain his actions to Grey Worm and you know, the whole gang kind of, and they had a good dynamic. He was listening, you know, there was a kind of back and forth. Now suddenly we have this religious character who's, you know, not listening and kind of has her own, you know, totally her own kind of understanding of things. Right. And I don't know how that meshes with Daenerys, if and when she comes back. And I assume it's more of a when than an if. Yeah. I don't see her towing the religious line, you know. I don't. Granted, like, this person seems to believe in Daenerys so much that she might not really, you know, she might just kind of give Daenerys what she wants to hear, kind of thing, you know. But
are you talking about the Red Woman now?
Yeah, the new Red Woman.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she's poised to be on the court, right? I mean,
I don't know, having her at the court. I hope they don't have her at the court. I think that'd be too much. I don't think Tyrion would allow that.
Okay, well, I hope
somehow he would know to not have that, like, in the council.
See, I thought somehow that it was implied that was, you know, the kind of give and take there was like, yeah, I'll get my people to kind of go out there and spread the legend, but you've got to give us an ear to Daenerys. You know, we've got to have more of a voice around here, kind of thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, maybe that is it.
You know, Game of Thrones is such a political
because
struggle.
like it's like we're this religious like they're so mysterious. This
Yeah, and I mean, you remember how Melisandre kind of, you know, always kind of toyed with Stannis in this way. You know, she had his ear more than anyone, I would imagine. Yeah. So, you know, if that's her strategy, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's our hit list. That's our hit list.
And that's our first hit list.
Bam!
Sound effects.
Yeah, we'll need to get some sound effects. I'll edit some things.
Right here, right now, here's the sound effects. Right here. And this one. And that one too. And right there it is.
But so then also, should we give, we're calling this the hit list?
Yeah, with the hit list finished, now we go on to theories.
All right, theories. So we have the Game of Theories.
Game of Theories. So we're going to pick a one theory, dissect it before.
Yeah. And we're probably not going to do this every week. You know, I mean, I'm sure we could. There probably are theories, but we want them to relate to what's happening in the story.
Right.
And the one that I know Ryan has been hoping for very much.
You have to, as soon as we can, because again, like you said at the beginning, why do we watch this show? You have to have some sort of hope. If you lose all hope, you can't hold on to the show.
That's right.
Just
that's right.
You have to know if you're still watching the show after all this, that means you have hope in you.
That's right. And Ryan is like Shaggy Dog Denier #1.
I'm Shaggy Dog Denier.
The small head, all of that. He doesn't want to believe it, and I don't want to believe it either.
And let me tell you, it's not. I don't have a great argument. It's just I don't want to believe it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go in here and list 42 reasons.
I mean, the fact that we lost
there are
Summer,
outlined that, but I'm like, I just can't.
The fact that we lost Summer in the way that we just did, maybe we didn't actually lose Shaggy Dog. You know, maybe you know they don't want to.
I just can't.
It's a lot of direwolves in a
My
short
favorite
time.
part of the story when I first got into this whole storyline was the direwolves.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part of the story. So I have to. That to me, it's like the best part.
And we'll see. I think we should wait till this plays out a little bit. We can also talk about at some point the theories about what the direwolves represent.
Oh, I've always thought they represented the characters they were attached to. Each of the Stark children. I've always thought they were the team.
I always, initially anyway, I thought that losing your direwolf meant that you were done for, you know. And Sansa clung to life somehow through it all.
She lost the first one.
But, you know, Rob, you know.
The first one.
Anyway, but so we'll talk about that another time. You know, what I want to talk about here is what's called in certain circles the Grand Northern Conspiracy.
Yes.
Now in the books, there's probably more evidence for it, from what I understand, and there's a lot of, even in the show, I think there's a lot of, there are a lot of allusions and mentions, regarding what the North represents in the Coil. Remember, the North remembers, and we had quotes from Sansa this episode talking about what her father had told her about how people in the North were different and they were a much more loyal stock.
Right, but I really liked the Davos thing of men are men, wherever you go, and I really like that too, because wherever you're from, you think you're a part of a different special sort.
Certainly.
So, and especially when you have time, like, in the North to really have these more impassioned feelings.
Yeah, well,
because you're, like, down low so often during those long winters.
And Rob did cut off, you know, he cut off the Karstark's head.
Oh, and that's, come on, you cut off the main dude in the Karstark.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to pull it off, but he shouldn't have done that. If he didn't do that, probably a lot of things wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Because they lost the Karstarks right there during the critical part of the war.
And then we got the little Karstark, who's like the most loyal to Ramsay right now.
Yeah, everything, he shouldn't have done that. And Catelyn was recommending he didn't do that, but he wanted to make sure justice was shown. But I'm like,
and to be fair to Catelyn, she as annoying as she had become for a lot of people at the time, her advice was always dead on.
Almost always.
Yeah.
I mean, she did trust Littlefinger because he was like childhood friend.
True.
And he's the one that betrayed them and got them killed.
And we'll see where this goes. We got conflicts here.
I know, but think of the qualifications.
I know, he's a dirtbag.
You're trying to think the best.
He's an absolute dirtbag.
But if you look at this, if you read about this guy in the paper, there's no way you might assume.
No, objectively
maybe
speaking,
he just broke into the home because he was lost. This guy has a long rap sheet. If you really analyze it, it's hard to give the benefit of the doubt.
Objectively speaking, he's like the evil genius on the show.
Yeah, but it's always for a very self-serving.
Oh, for sure,
It's never for anything ever.
But and again, I thought the only redeeming quality, and not to his character, but to where the show brings us, was his sort of kind of illogical romance towards Catelyn Tully Stark. And then perhaps how that would translate through her daughter, who looks sort of similar with the red hair and whatever.
But he seduced her sister.
I know.
Just to get power, and then killed her once he got that power.
Yeah, exactly. He's a dirtbag. Yeah.
But like you said, a dirtbag. Okay, that's a point against him. Seducing her sister. But, come on, you gotta be relative.
No, and I'm not. Again, I'm certainly not defending his character. I hope, and again, hope has its place in this world. I just hope that somehow, Sansa is the one that somehow turns the tables on him, and that's how his downfall comes about. Because it's gotta come about. It's gotta come about. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I guess it's freaking Game of Thrones, but you hope it has to come about. Anyway, so that's it.
Okay.
So the Grand Northern Conspiracy is a talk of this whole North remembers that there are these people that are going to sort of always be loyal to the Starks. They need a Stark in power somehow.
And that the surrender to, not even surrender, but the offering of Rickon it was actually some sort of conspiracy.
That's right.
Well, the fact that Asha would put herself out to just almost get killed kind of takes away from that.
Or give something to it. Maybe she was the first wave. The kind of well, first off, let's see what Osha can do. Maybe she can take him out, because she's proven the ability to do that before.
Yeah.
Proven the ability to do that.
But she would have gone in, armed or something.
True, but remember, they stripped her naked and like bathed her, so she didn't have that option.
Oh, yeah.
But I would imagine she probably didn't have that option with Theon's men either. That was kind of her. That was her trick, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as we learned, Theon had informed her. Fucking reek strikes again.
Yeah.
And you know, it seems like she was close, but not quite close. You know, he read that page out of the blueprint or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, on the one hand, yes, we lost Osha, who you would imagine would have gone in there as a kind of protector type.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, maybe she was the kind of first attempt, you know, plan A kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, and if that's the case, which I want it to believe, I do want it to believe. If she was the first wave, you still got them in there, and then you can like, then what? What the? Why isn't it happening?
So all right,
Why haven't they killed him yet?
Let me see this out. So first of all, I think the idea is that like he can kind of hurt Rickon, but he wouldn't kill him because he represents a lot of things in the north, and he kind of.
Or maybe they sent the letter to the wall to get the army out, and the Karstarks stay behind and
That's
slaughter them.
Exactly, something like that. You know, and so there are a lot of options I could play on that regard. Where, you know, like what if Rickon isn't actually Rickon? What if it's a decoy? We've seen decoys before. I've seen that theory out there in the world that Rickon's still safe somewhere. You know, there's the theory that Shaggy Dog's head was way too small. You know, apparently Shaggy Dog was supposed to be the biggest of the direwolves. That looked like a kind of typical direwolf's head. Again, this is all wishful thinking. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But the Grand Northern Conspiracy goes that, and I'm not so sure about the Karstarks because he did really fuck up with the Karstarks, but you know that the Umbers are actually still loyal. That's why he didn't bend the knee, and that this is all a ploy. Where if it is Rickon, the idea being that you know Ramsay himself leads his men out to meet Jon Snow's men, whoever, and then the Umbers turn.
Yeah.
You know, so that perhaps at that point, like it looks like Ramsay's men are doing well, but suddenly had people in their own ranks turn on them.
Right.
Ramsay does not even get a very good battle. He just gets maybe he gets taken out very much like Roose Bolton took Robb Stark out. Just someone comes up behind and you know whatever. Maybe that's a very like an anti-climax at something, you know. And then you've got Rickon Stark in Winterfell, and you've got loyalists in Winterfell who come free him. Boom, you've got a Stark on the throne.
That'd be great.
And maybe they'll fuck with us so much, like they have with Hodor, like they could with you know perhaps we lose a Brienne or a Bronn. Or someone really that we really don't want to lose. Yeah. And then they give it back to us as they tend to, with a big sudden like, oh, Ramsay Bolton is not who he thinks he does not have the power, and he doesn't even get the big battle. I mean, I don't know. That's crazy wishful thinking. But
I mean, maybe he's killed by the Night King.
Yeah.
You know, that could happen.
Yeah. I've heard some fun theories.
Okay, I'm going on the spot. Okay. On the spot.
All right. So that's our talk of conspiracies this week. You know. The Grand Northern Conspiracies out there. I recommend you look into it. There are lots of great...
I recommend you research. Go to your local library. Look it up. I recommend finding more on the subject.
You know, and there's a lot of good stuff out there on YouTube and on different podcasts and stuff.
No, but our podcast should be referred to first.
That's true, yeah. We definitely are like the definitive
one. We're the one, but for others, there's other supplemental.
Yeah, and I'm joking.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You don't
right. No, but seriously, there's some fun stuff out there.
True.
And yeah, check it out. But so, we're gonna close it up with a feature here. We're calling it on the spot. You know?
On the spot.
Boom.
And the sound effect goes like this.
Okay. Yeah.
There it is. That was great sound. Great sound.
Whipper.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whenever we get the post production, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll make it work. So.
All right. Okay, I'm putting you on the spot, but it's actually a question I want to be asked, but I'm going to put it on you.
Okay.
Because the first one was, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's how it's got to go.
What would be the best, most justifying kill of Ramsay? What would be, of any character that's out there? Any, you can, or element, or just the death, or just right now, Sinan, you're on the spot.
Boom. All right, I think what we were just talking about would be actually sort of good comeuppance, if you will. But, you know, the idea that the way that Roose took out Robb Stark was that we had a loyalist coming out of nowhere and slashing necks. You know, it would be great justice if his loyalist, Mr. Umber, or even Mr. Karstark, but I really don't see that happening, were to do the same. So that would be a fun thing. Now, on the other hand, we've got the whole dog reference that you can't waste.
Yeah.
What if his dogs ate him? What if they threw him in there with his dogs and then turned him on him? Yeah. What if we substitute dogs with dire wolves?
Right. That's what personally, that's the route I would want to go to. That's my personal preference.
There we go, dire wolves.
But you're on the spot.
There you go.
Tell me what is it for you?
But what's the most gratifying? If we were going to go the dire wolf route, we could have Naimaria's wolf pack.
But for you, what's the best one? What would be the most gratifying?
I might actually go with the Grand Northern Conspiracy, because I like what narratively how it's like getting exactly what the Boltons dished out to the Starks in the first place.
Yeah.
And then giving some credence to this notion that the North remembers. All this kind of warning that we've gotten from season 1 that the North, these Northerners are somehow loyaler and kind of a different stock. Yeah. It'd be nice for that to come true somehow. I feel like. That'd be a nice narrative thing coming to play.
Yeah.
All right, so now, for Ryan being on the spot, if the tale of ice and fire, whatever, is in fact the story of Daenerys versus Jon Snow.
Whoa, versus,
okay, right? So
okay.
And there are theories that what if they're the ones destined to get together and take over things. But let's throw that in reverse and put it in a kind of a different spin. What if they're warring factions? What if the North unifies? Who do you got?
Oh, I mean, Daenerys is going to win. Right now, Jon Snow.
Well, no, okay. Well, so don't think about tactically. Who do you want to win?
Are you talking about Jon Snow's army versus Daenerys and army? Or are you talking about hand-to-hand combat of Jon Snow and Daenerys?
Armies, I suppose, right? Or, their forces are representative of each other, I suppose, right? If somehow Jon Snow's North, wins out the day, defends against the White Walkers, and unifies Westeros.
Here's the weird thing.
Twist.
My favorite part to read in the storyline is always the North and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But for some reason, I'd want Daenerys to win the battle.
Interesting.
I don't know why. But it just seems more evident, just like some path of destruction stuff, which is crazy because I love the Jon Snow story, and that is my favorite storyline. And Daenerys is not.
And so maybe for you, Daenerys is Azor Ahai.
Yeah, I think yeah.
And it's nice. It's a twist, right? It's not everyone assumes it's this guy with this certain blood. What if it's a girl, right? How about that? How about that? Which is very common, I think, in Game of Thrones, right? Yeah. The ladies have a power that's unspoken.
I also think just the size of her army and these people is just so.
And dragons, really, right?
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting. It's like she's taking care of current issues, while Jon Snow is planning on future issues. Mm-hmm. Both important. She's in the now. He's planning for the future. So
and they're both sympathetic, right? I mean, for Jon Snow to see the sort of humanity in the wildlings and team up with them.
Oh yeah.
In much the way that Daenerys does so with the Dothraki, I guess, right? I mean.
Well, if they are indeed related, she would be his aunt, actually.
Oh, wow.
If that theory pursues the whole arc.
Oh, right.
I mean, everyone knows that theory. Everyone knows it, but...
Which hopefully lends us to the idea that maybe they don't have to fight against each other. Maybe they can team up to take over the rest of Westeros.
Yeah.
Or they'll come in and sweep in and save them from the White Walkers.
How about this for a theory? They go in combat. Somehow, one seduces the other. Things happen. Within the next day, they realize the bloodline, and they realize they're awkwardly related. And there's a really awkward, wait, you're my aunt? It's just like Risky Business, or no, not Risky Business. How I Got My Success. What's that Michael J. Fox movie? Secret to My Success.
Okay.
Whoa, that'd be so funny if the whole story changes to that Michael J. Fox 1988
And
movie.
to be fair, if there's anyone in the world of Westeros who's going to be hitting up the incest, it's got to be the Targaryens, right?
That's true. That's
pretty much what they do. So, wow, the first podcast, the first one we do, and we're covering the biggest of topics of all.
Yeah.
And that was on the spot. That was an on-the-spot question.
On the spot.
You really don't know what's going to happen until Throne Talk.
Happens on the spot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can pretty much wrap up. This is just 1 week. That's 1 week's worth of content.
Closing with On the Spot, that was a good one.
Phenomenal.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Guac and Chips.
Guac and chips.
Guac and chips. Eat them when you want a snack.
And Tecate. You know, let's rep this Mexican beer company. In times like these, where Mexicans are under fire, left and right, you know, in this current political spectrum, we're drinking Mexican beer and we're enjoying it.
It's flavor with character.
It is. It is. So on that note, raise your Tecates and your whatever beer you're drinking.
And until next week.
Or, you know, whatever else you might be drinking. And to Throne Talk. And
Throne Talk.